This week in tech, public image trumps profits as Yahoo yanks its X-rated content. Napster gets blasted for its liberal filters, and Cosmo.com delivers pink slips to every employee. Hello and welcome to Silicon Spin. Hello and welcome to Silicon Spin, the show that tackles high-tech issues. I'm your host, Adam Lashinsky of TheStreet.com, sitting in for John C. Dvorak. Today's guests, Janet Rae-Dupree, Senior Editor for U.S. News and World Report, David Benjamin, attorney for Benjamin, Weil & Mazer, and Kevin Surace, CEO of Perfect Commerce. What a week for Yahoo! The internet giant barely beat drastically reduced earnings estimates and disclosed plans to send more than 400 employees packing. Then, the portal's PR machine kicked into high gear. Yahoo verified a Los Angeles Times claim that it was selling porn, but after public pressure and a boycott threat, the company announced it would remove sex-related wares from the site. Analysts say a company like Yahoo just can't wade into such risque waters.
Coming like a Disney, it has to be acceptable to everyone. They can't foray out into these areas where there may be some revenue opportunity. Porn is a huge business online, but if you're risk offending your mainstream, again, like an AT&T brand or a Procter & Gamble, you just want to say we don't want to mess with it.
Janet, did this porn flap really hurt Yahoo, and can they succeed without porn?
I don't think it hurt Yahoo, and they certainly can succeed without porn. I think it's kind of a shame that they had to get out of the porn industry simply because that makes so much money for .com companies of all different types. I mean, look at eBay. I'm certain there are pornographic materials being sold on eBay every day, and people aren't jumping all over eBay. A lot of the new technologies come into the .com industry via the porn industry.
You know, this has happened in the regular retail market where for places, I think it was 7-Eleven about 5 or 7 years ago, there was a big flood of people who were complaining about having pornographic thing. They took it off, and their sales and revenues went up as a result of that.
So wait, say that one more time. Their sales went up after they took the porn off.
Because there were so many
magazines out of the
picketing at that point. There was so many mothers that were mad, and because there were kids that were going to these.
Don't blame it just on the mothers. Blame it on the conservative Christian fathers too.
But Yahoo has had this. Yahoo has had this this capability for a couple of years. It's been separately protected by adult passwords, and it's really not them selling product. It's actually their marketplace and their auctions having this available. It's been available. It's just that one of the newspapers picked it up, made a big deal out of it. They said, yeah, we have it. It's fine. And then it was not worth it. So Jeff Mallett shut it down.
Janet, you're not suggesting that a big institution can get by selling porn and not get its wrist slapped, are you?
Well, so far eBay's gotten away with it. eBay's pretty darn big, and I don't see their wrist being slapped.
Right, Disney, Gannett, 7-Eleven.
Well, okay, now Disney, Gannett, I mean, they're intended to be public market, media, mass appeal sorts of places, and Disney has, Disney created the original G rating.
When people start to look at the web as real markets, as public markets, that's when they're going to have to be more responsive to the overall citizenship, and that is what I think is happening. That's why I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. People are looking at it like a real business.
Yahoo has been responsible. Yahoo has done the right thing.
Yahoo looked at this and said, this is 2% of our revenue. The heck with it. It's not even stuff they sell. They just allow their marketplace people
I think they do get a little advertising from it. But, the conventional wisdom has always been that there's only 2 killer apps on the web, right? Sex and email, and the second one isn't a big revenue generator.
That's true.
Yeah. So, what happens after this?
What happens after this for Yahoo? I mean, they just continue on forward with what they've been doing. And now they can market themselves as saying, we're responsive. We pay attention when people tell us we need to censor what people can buy on the web, which I don't think we ought to be doing, but that's another issue.
If you ask me, they show that just like other big companies, they cave when they have to. Our next topic, just when you thought big was big enough, Amazon.com absorbs the entire Borders library. Amazon will manage all of Borders' inventory and fulfillment and create a new co-branded site. Kevin, is this good for Amazon, good for Borders?
Both. Absolutely both win. This is a little bit like the Toys R Us thing where ToysRUs.com said, you know what, we're going to partnership with Amazon. Let Amazon handle the distribution and fulfillment. If you look at what Amazon is actually doing well, they've got some marketing, they've got some brand recognition. Their fulfillment, their warehouses,
Right.
the ability to take that stuff back and credit customers. They've built one of the best, arguably, catalog fulfillment houses in the country right now.
Right.
So Borders also has a brand name. They're still going to have people come to their website, but why should they be in the one-off fulfillment business? They're not in that business. They're in the store business.
Borders should not be in the
Borders should not
in
be,
a
no.
sense, Borders is rolling over and saying we cannot be as successful at selling books and videos online as Amazon has been. Therefore, we're going to go ahead and let Amazon take that part of our business, if you will, but they're still going to get a cut of that action.
Borders will probably make more money than they had on the bottom line
Because
Amazon will produce the site, Amazon will ship the goods, Amazon will take them back. They'll probably do better.
From a broader sense,
more
I
on the
think
top
big
line
thing
as
is,
well, because people actually go to the Amazon site to buy books.
I think the big thing is this is a trend of consolidation, which everybody has been talking about from an overall point of view. The web is consolidating like all other businesses are consolidating, and this is an example, and it's always a question of who's going to be the last ones standing.
It's economies of scale, and Amazon has tried to practice on that economies of scale the entire time.
My big concern for them at this point is that everything else they've tried hasn't worked. You know, we made a big deal when they started to sell sponsorships on the site, when they made investment in other lousy internet companies. Is this you all seem to,
Toys-R-Us.com has worked very well with Amazon. Very well. Very well.
So you would argue that this is a Toys-R-Us.com too.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
I think it's a wait and
It's
see.
not
We
only
don't really know.
Toys-R-Us.com,
We'll get
it's
to you
also
on
an
that.
expansion of their book business, which has always been their most successful business. If
actually
they're
make
going
money
to
on it?
make money, yeah, they've made money on their book business in the past, and I think they'll continue to do so. And now that they're being able to consolidate some of their book competitors into Amazon itself, I think that's going to make
A
them
contrarian
better.
quickly,
Well, I
David.
think it could be a good plan, but it's a wait and see. We do not know if Amazon's going to survive. I still am not convinced it's going. The book thing is good because you can return it to the publishers. If they don't sell, it's a great thing because it's one of the few things you can return to the publishers. So you can make money off of that, but it is dangerous. I think Amazon could be way overextended as usual. Now, they've done well overextending themselves, but this could be another example of it.
That's a whole other topic.
Thank you. We'd like to know your take on the top news and technology, so take part in our viewer poll. Just log on to siliconspin.com. Today's question, should Yahoo have stopped selling porn? Up next, the latest battle cries over Napster reached threatening tones. Has the ruling judge done enough? Stay with us.
Last week, this company's website went live. The employees are celebrating their success by gathering in revelry. They are exhilarated by the onslaught of new customers. Yet, no one has visited the server in days because no one has had to. The server's software is not offended because the software knows no loneliness, always reliable and never needy. Enterprise software from Microsoft.
Increase your earning power with a degree in computer science or information systems. Study anywhere, anytime. Call for your ACCIS catalog.
Does it sometimes feel as if life's obstacles come after you? Introducing the all-new 2002 Escalade. The most powerful SUV in the world. Escalade. Make obstacles obsolete. Cadillac.
Chet, send me the entire Yakamoto file.
Ricocheting now. Happy hunting.
Where's in Stockholm? Oh, Mr. Yakamoto.
Vill du diskutera det? Är det så? För här i Sweden.
Work away with Ricochet. High-speed mobile access at 128 kbps and up. Ricochet high-speed mobile access is available in select markets now for a flat monthly fee. For more information or to find out if Ricochet is available in your area, go to ricochet.com.
Get ready for the ultimate pregame show.
This week on a very special edition of Extended Play, we go to Japan for the Tokyo Game Show. We'll show you this year's crop of imports, including previews of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Shinji Mikami's latest horror adventure, Devil May Cry, and a sneak peek at Final Fantasy X.
Extended play, coming up tonight at 9:30, 8:30 Central.
Welcome back to Silicon Spin's Tech Week in Review. A U.S. judge scolds Napster and threatens to take away its toys. Judge Marilyn Hall Patel called the company disgraceful for failing to filter copyrighted music. She ordered Napster to block copyrighted songs in March, but many titles are still up for grabs. Patel offered one solution: shutting Napster down. The company hopes to launch a paid subscription service this summer. David, what do you think? Is this quits for Napster at this point?
Well, Napster's in big trouble. You're always in trouble when you get a big order. One of the things you do in litigation always is try and get an order against the other guy, so that when they are trying to fulfill it, the judge will get mad and said, you're in trouble, you haven't done it, you haven't done it. They say they spent $1 million, judge says, too bad, not enough. They're trying to filter out these songs just based on the title, and then you just alter the title a little bit, and they can find the song some other way.
Actually, we talk for a second. We'll talk for one second about the litigation issue here. She's starting to sound a little bit like the fella in the Microsoft trial, right? She seems to be upset.
Oh, is
that good or bad for anybody?
Oh, it's terrible for Napster.
Explain.
Oh, she is mad. She basically made an order and she does not think it's being fulfilled. She can shut them down, and she might, because she is mad. And she has basically said, I don't care what you do, but you are violating these copyright rights, and I have made an order, fix it. Now, what they're trying to do is hang on for dear life until their subscription program starts out, and then they're going to have a whole bunch of free people who are using this, and they keep their customers.
But isn't she being unfair? Because from a technology standpoint, there is no way you can stop the users from using Pig Latin, as you said, and different, acronyms around the words, and still getting the song.
Oh, yes,
there is no way to do this.
You can. If you know what? If you spent $500 million, you could easily. If you spent $250 million,
there isn't a
and you know what? That's
$250 million.
what judges look at. You get an order, and they say, I don't care what it takes. I want you to stop. And there's a lot of times where very onerous things are required of them.
That's true, but I think the judge is not being fair.
Judges don't judges don't look at the real world. They don't look at how this actually would function.
What Napster is doing is wrong.
Right, the real world is that they're stealing from the owners.
She said she's made a determination, and she says, I want it stopped. And she, you know what? She could have shut them down. She could have just said, stop. You're over. Business is over.
Janet, then we'll give Kevin a chance. Go ahead.
Basically, I'm just trying to figure out how they're supposed to resolve a situation that technologically is extremely difficult to resolve.
Well, there's a lot of companies that are just shut down. They're put out of business.
Because what they're doing is illegal, is what you're arguing.
She made a determination. You're violating the law. Now, they've appealed it. The Ninth Circuit has upheld her, issued the injunction, told her to issue the injunction. Yeah. They've asked for a rehearing to the panel en banc, which is the entire group of the Ninth Circuit.
No Latin on the show, please.
En
Go
banc
ahead.
means the whole group. The whole group of the Ninth Circuit. And
I'm just kidding.
They're asking for a rehearing. And so it's possible that the whole group of the Ninth Circuit, which is right below the U.S. Supreme Court, could disagree. Unlikely. Then could go up.
A Napster lover wants to get in
absolutely.
here. Go ahead.
I've used Napster for a while. I'm sure a lot of the viewers do. And I'll tell you, in the last 2 months since that injunction, since they've begun to filter, you can't find anything. I don't know if you guys have tried. You really got to get started. You've got to get creative. They have worked hard to stop this thing now.
Wait a second, Kevin. Everything I read in the media, I'm not an Napster user, but everything I've read says that it's all there. You can get it, no problem.
But it's not no problem. You're going to work really hard to try to find it.
Here's one thing you have to figure out what somebody might have done to rename the file.
And then once you do, they stop that one, and you got to figure out a different one. They're working hard to stop it.
Here's one thing that just happened. Judge Patel has instructed a man who is a high technology expert to go and try and figure out how to resolve this. She is asking him, a man named Nichols, and he has been hired by the court and said, go figure out how to make this work. She doesn't want to shut Napster down. She's trying to get a high technology guy to
I don't know. It looks like she would like to shut it down. She wants to be seen as being fair in doing that. You seem to suggest that there is no way to technologically do this. Well, you say spend $250 million. What good would that do?
Well, I think there are filters that can be put on so that the files themselves will not be available.
I don't understand what you mean, because
ladies first, and then we'll get you in. Go ahead.
I don't understand what you mean, because the files, the users are the ones constantly creating new files. It's not like you can, put in the tune Unchained Melody and expect that all versions of Unchained Melody are going to disappear.
Right now, what they have it set up is if you ask for over the rainbow and start it with a Z, over the rainbow, that file will
But then
come
they
up.
block it. Then they find that, they block it. Now you have to use over the rainbow.
And then you end up with over, say,
That's
the
not
rainbow.
very satisfying to a judge who says you are violating the law. I want this fixed. And she has ordered that.
As you know, 70–80% of Napster users have already moved to things like LimeWire, and you can find everything.
Right.
There is no
What's LimeWire?
It's a Nutella-based technology that is very hard to stop because it's true peer-to-peer. There's no servers in the middle. Works great.
Very quickly from each of you, how long does Napster last from here on out?
3 months.
Janet?
6.
6 months, Kevin?
Move to LimeWire, who cares?
Tomorrow then, all right.
You're supposed to be the supporter.
When we come back, chilling news for lazy urbanites. Cosmo.com has delivered its last pint of ice cream. More of this when we come back.
You ready?
Yeah, okay.
Here he is.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I want you to meet my new roommates.
Isn't it great?
This is Greg.
Greg.
This is Sean. Hi.
Nice voice.
And this is Celine.
Bonjour, Mom and Dad.
Hey! She's from Paris.
Want to share video with your family and friends? MediaPoster.com makes it easy. Just capture, send, and receive. MediaPoster.com. It's just like being there.
Did you know that scientists have discovered the hairless gene? If you have thinning hair, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now and get your copy of our latest report, the Hair Loss Update. You can read about exclusive interviews with doctors and scientists and learn about the different options that Hair Club has available today in the fight against hair loss. Hair Club is the one source for hair loss information.
Call Hair Club now and get this booklet or CD-ROM free.
Now that I've got my hair back, I'm glad I made that call.
Call Hair Club now.
Mr. and Mrs. Pfeffercorn? Hey, it's me, Steve, the kid from next door. Sorry about the rhododendrons. Anywho, Jeff here needs a computer.
Hi, Mom.
Now, Mr. Pfeffercorn, here's the deal. You can get our friend Jeff a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for only...
Ta-da!
Tell them what they get, Jeff.
We get speakers, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse.
Very good, Jeff. And if you guys order now, you get free shipping. And Mrs. Pfefferbean?
That's Pfeffercorn, actually.
Whatever. Dell has award-winning service and support.
Perhaps that's why it's America's favorite PC.
Perhaps.
Get this great Dell computer with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for just $799. We'll include 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access. Call or go online now, and the shipping is free.
Ready? Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, it's me, Steve.
Coming up next on Tech TV. Tech TV News, followed by Extended Play.
Welcome back. Once it was a glorious fleet of urban couriers, but now it's just another .com casualty. Cosmo.com shut down Wednesday, laying off more than 1,000 workers and liquidating its assets. The company delivered videos, snacks, and sundries in 9 cities. It was the brainchild of 2 20-something-year-olds, and some say its business model never made sense.
They weren't targeting the right customers. Delivering milk duds to college kids in libraries is not a very good business plan. Next, they had no order minimum, so you could order a box of milk duds and have it delivered without a delivery charge for the longest time. They most recently started to add delivery charges, but it was really too little too late.
Other web delivery services such as Webvan are still struggling. Janet, he was being a little unfair. Consumers love these sorts of services, and not one of them is working financially.
Yeah.
What's the story?
Consumers may love them, and consumers may be lazy, but they're not rich. And they had to have prices that were competitive with what you could get at the corner grocery store. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't make, I mean, 1,000 people have been laid off from Cosmo. You got to pay those people somehow off of earnings. What earnings? If you're selling things for the same thing that the local grocery store is selling it for, but you're delivering it generally in very small quantities, you're just asking for financial trouble. It's not surprising at all.
One of the things that happened was they were going to another round of funding, and one of their investors all of a sudden just precipitously said, $6 million, we had promised it, sorry, we're not going to come up with it.
This was after how much already? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it was something like $15 million.
Actually,
I think
no,
it was
tens of millions, maybe even
the last round was a $20 million round.
I'm under the impression that overall the company has lost very nearly $50 million.
Yeah, it might even be more than that, because at their peak they were burning almost $1 million a day.
Okay, Kevin, at one time though they seriously wanted to go public, and I think people believe that they would.
Yeah, you know, the problem is, it gets right back to what you said. People love the service, but if you had to really pay for that service, which meant I'll deliver anything to you, but you got to pay me $15 to do so.
Right.
I mean, FedEx knows this business well, okay? That's a nation. But if you had to pay me $15, all of a sudden the business would dry up.
Right.
Because you'd say, oh, I'll go to the store and get it.
Right.
Now, even Webvan, as we know, is having a heck of a time doing this, and they're delivering on average $100, $150 lots, not $5 lots. But at $5 and $10 lots, you know, you can't make money.
Where do we go from here, David? Webvan CEO George Shaheen called it quits today. Yeah, did they go out of business next?
It's in my opinion, yes. I mean, I'm not an investment analyst, but I think it has been a terrible plan. They hire college graduates to drive their trucks. They double park in the city, and they
this is who?
Run around Webvan. I mean, it's just it's a crazy
Have you used Webvan?
program. Yes, my wife uses Webvan a lot, and the truth is, it's just as cheap as going to the store.
Okay,
it works great, but it's a lousy investment. They are not making money. It's a great consumer product. You know what? Stupid ideas are not limited to
So there was news today that Webvan actually potentially broke even at the Foster City, where just the local one, the San Francisco Bay Area. First place that they've actually broke even over the course of a month. Now we'll see how long that lasts. But if you get the volume high enough, right, and you can in fact automate it the way the Borders guys said you could, theoretically you can make money at that business if they're $100, $150, $200 lots.
They pick the lowest margin business possible.
Well,
I mean, that's the problem. They're not in a book situation. They're doing groceries.
Okay, quickly though,
increase the margin, right?
Would you pay a premium? In other words, would you pay even a healthy premium for the convenience? Yes or no?
My wife would definitely. She would. She has done it at times.
And I think a number of consumers would.
I think you're right. Next topic. Cisco Systems has fallen victim to the internet flu. It announced this week that its 5,000 laid-off employees would get 6-month severance. That's great for them, but the stock is still hurting. Kevin, what's in store for this once seemingly impervious company? Do you agree with my assertion?
I hear you. You know, I literally saw John Chambers just 2 nights ago, and he talked at great length about this.
Where was that?
That was actually in Berkeley. He was actually taping a show for another network, as they say. But John is a world-class guy. That is a world-class management team. However, you know, all of their .com customers are essentially gone. They're putting their stuff up for sale on eBay. There's 3,000 or 4,000 Cisco items for sale on eBay at any one time right now. Yeah, the customers are.
Cisco's not using
No, Cisco's no, it hasn't gotten that bad. So the fact of the matter is they had to make a tough decision, pull back. Their PE ratio right now, if you look at the past 12 months earnings, is something like 40 or 50. It's still very high. Now, we got used to, you know, stock prices of 60, 70, 80 for them. We all thought this was going to grow and continue to grow, but it's slowed down. They're slowing down with the economy. Will that company see a $30 share price, $40 share price? Yes, but it's going to take some time.
Let me go to you, Jan. When we worked at the San Jose Mercury News together, you were one of the people who knew about the technology in the business world of technology. What about their technology? What are the risks? What are the threats?
Their technology is top flight. I mean, it's really wonderful technology, and they continue to push the envelope out and create new technologies. But what's going to happen for Cisco now is they're going to have to tread water, possibly for as much as 2 to 3 years.
Oof, years.
I'm not talking about a turnaround in a couple of quarters, because all of the .coms that were buying this wonderful technology from Cisco have now begun to leave the picture, and you've got that consolidation. There have been some estimates that only 10% of all existing .com companies are going to survive for the long term. Cisco's going to have to find ways to sell into a contracted marketplace. I think Cisco ultimately will, but we're going to see a Cisco going forward that is significantly smaller than what we have seen in the past.
And there's something like 12 months of inventory in the channel right now.
Yes.
Okay, briefly, do anyone have anything positive to say in the near term for Cisco?
Yes, John Chambers.
All right,
I mean, that's
a world-class manager. Up next, the week's big stinker, a Bay Area company tried to bring scent to the web, and what do you know? It went out of business. We'll sniff out the details when Silicon Spin returns. That's right, why is that?
Presenting the all-new Mercury Mountaineer. Thoughtfully designed for those canyons, peaks, and valleys we drive most. With enough room and comfort to lead you to conclude that the SUV built for here is here.
Hold on, just wait. Meet my new friend Simon.
Digital camera. Could have bought it online for $369, $349, or $329.
$329? Where?
Log on to My Simon and compare the best prices from around the web.
Hey, cashmere sweater, $188? I know a place that sells it for $98.
You're kidding.
MySimon.com. People have a right to know.
Hey, flea collar, $4.99.
The DirecTV Freeview event series presents a musical journey to the most mystical places on Earth. Music in high places. This month, Grammy Award-winning Boyz II Men bring their soul and harmony to Seoul, South Korea. Music in high places with Boyz II Men, playing every weekend in April, free on Channel 103, a DirecTV Freeview event.
Tune in to Movie Showcase for weekly previews of what's hot on DirecTV premium movie channels. See what's playing on Showtime.
That's my boy.
Playing on HBO.
They tried to kill me.
And playing on Stars.
Is there a secret to being funny?
Check out Movie Showcase on Channel 500 and preview the best of what's on DirecTV premium movie channels.
Next on Tech TV, today's top technology headlines. Tech TV News coming up next.
Hi, you're watching Tech TV.
Welcome back. A company called DigiSense caused quite a stink in the media for trying something new, making the online experience odoriferous. They called the technology I Smell, but I'll smell you later. DigiSense went kaput, although they'll continue to try to license their technology. David, was this just a silly idea, yet another silly idea?
Yeah, I think it was pretty stinky. I mean, you've got to give
Shame on you, Latin and a bad pun in the same show. All right, go on.
You've got to give them some credit. I mean, I remember when this first came out, and they tried to create this box where they would synthesize these rose smells and lemon smells, and it was a great idea. Do you know? Here's a little piece of trivia: the most primitive human sense is the sense of smell.
Right.
And so what they were trying to do is wrestle with the most difficult sense. It would be more interesting if you could get touch.
But
if
I
you
don't
could feel
understand the technology. How can you smell something at the other end of a telephone?
Well, no, what they have is a box like
how can you make money smelling stuff? That's the problem.
Well, you've got scratch and sniff on magazines.
Who's going to pay for the box? But scratch and sniff on a magazine is cheap. You know, who's going to pay to hook one of those boxes up to everybody's PC?
Nobody.
What does make more sense is the sense of touch.
Yeah.
And that's what a little company down in San Jose called Immersion has gone into. It's a whole area called haptics. And you can haptics. It's the sense of touch, digital touch. And so you can use, and they've licensed it to Microsoft, they've licensed it to Logitech, and you can use it to feel the road as you're driving your video race car.
And I've used it. It's very cool.
And you can run your mouse along bumps and feel where there are links.
Now that's a lot easier sense to deal with.
Well, but they can also build it into mice and other game consoles that are already there. But this whole set thing, you had to fill it with chemicals once in a while, put things in.
And who knows if it got even close?
Right.
I mean, would you buy a perfume based on the fact that they have like 20 scents and they're trying to combine them?
If it goes wild and all the scents come out at once and, you know, wreck the house, and it's terrible.
All right, we're giving them a hard time, but this is what the Valley's made of, right? I mean, people have to try nutty things like a computer mouse.
But it goes back to the question of just because we can do something technologically, should we?
Oh,
Is anybody going to pay for it?
Someday this will happen. You know, there was a movie where they did that, and you could watch the movie and get your sense and stuff. Someday this, I think it was very inventive. I think it's important for people.
Inventive.
I would like to send the skunk scent to many people. Actually, I think it's a very
Disney has done something similar with that new hang gliding ride at the California theme park. They actually blow ocean spray into your nose.
Give you a sense of dread.
No, not a sense of dread. It's actually very pleasant.
But you paid $80 to get in. Different story, right?
All right. Well, I hate to end this scintillating conversation, but I will thank our guests, Janet Rae-Dupree of U.S. News and World Report, attorney David Benjamin, and Kevin Surace from Perfect Commerce. Thanks for joining us. Before we go, let's see the results of our viewer poll. We asked, should Yahoo have stopped selling porn? 12% of you said yes, and the free livers out there, 80% of you said no, they caved in too easily. That does it for today's show. I'm Adam Lashinsky in for John C. Dvorak. Join us next week for another Silicon Spin. Thanks, everyone.